Testing. Testing, testing. Motion. Okay. Here we go with the slideshow. Hello and welcome to the ongoing Rapidus 130XE. I've got the camera back on 1080p, the main camera, both cameras. Still didn't get to the bottom of why getting all this lag on the cameras, but we'll just have to try and ignore it. See how this one goes. I don't know what's going on. So let's dive in. Now, at the end of the previous video last night, this machine appeared to be in a non-working condition, having worked perfectly well before I started to work on it, which was a little bit worrying. But in the cold light of day today, I noticed that I had forgotten to solder 36 of the 40 pins on the pokey socket, which kind of explained why it didn't boot properly. Once they were soldered up, everything worked beautifully. Here we go. There we go. Freezing camera. I'm gonna have to drop that back to, yeah, look at this. This is the effect I'm talking about. If anybody handy with cameras and open broadcaster, this is the effect I'm talking about. You see that sort of tearing interference in the middle of the picture? Can I get that again? Probably. It doesn't seem to be the cameras, because the two cameras are identical and I've swapped them around and it doesn't make any difference. And I don't think both cameras went bad at the same time. The right light facility is off on the drivers because that's known to cause frame drop problems, lag problems. I tried, got a disk with Linux, Ubuntu Linux on it, which I'd previously set up and used for streaming. Tried that, so that would eliminate the SSD and the operating system and the drivers, still the same. Tried it on another PC and still get the same effect. So it kind of points to a camera issue, but it seems so unlikely that the cameras would develop a problem at the same time. Two different cameras. I've got a different webcam which I'll haul out and give a try. But yeah, generally not too happy with the setup at the moment, but never mind. I mean, anyway, we'll just have to forget about it and muddle on. So this machine wouldn't boot into BASIC last night, so it was the pokey socket which I got to solder up. So let's see if it's working now. Where we get our easy cap window. Power on. Should work. There we go. It works. So from the point of view of working machine, we can now proceed to fit the gear. Off. Okay, so there you are, nice fully socket, well not fully socket, but all the major ICs socketed on the board. So now we're going to get this ultimate board fitted. Now what we're going to need to do, probably before I do anything else, is drill a couple of holes in the board to mount the ultimate board. I'm going to have to find some pylons, standoffs if you will, in my little box of tricks here. What have we got? Now these standoffs are going to have to be a very particular height to clear the, yes, it's going to have to be these ones here, to clear the power jack. So on two of them, I've got two of them. Have I got two of them? No, yes, yes I have. These are the ones that the Thorax sends out in the box, but he only sends you one. Which is strange. Oh, and now a screw of an appropriate length. What we've got here, there's a couple here. Likely candidates. About these ones. Got to go through the board. Do that. It's a bit short. I don't know, could work. It's going to be like by the time it's passed through the board, pass through that board. Yeah, it's a bit too short, that one. Oops. Quite a long time since I've fitted Ultimate in an XE. So it's going to have to be one of these screws, the longer ones. I'll grab a couple of those, hopefully posi drive. Yeah, and a couple of nuts, a couple of washers. Nuts, yes. It hasn't stopped me so far. Washers. I'm running out of washers. Oh, out of everything. Okay, we'll steal some washers. Here, mental note, buy washers. There. Washer there. There we go. Well, anything else we need while we're in here? Yes, we'll take one of these. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Right. Drill some holes. My drill. My drill bits. The 3mm drill. And I want wood. Oops. Oh, this desk is so cramped. Possibly if I didn't have a PC on it. Quite so bad. Mouse, don't really need that. Okay. Right. There's my pen. Marker pen. Grab that. Oh, perfectly with the top. Okay. Mark this off. Now, we'll probably utilize one of the... Are we going to utilize one of the screw holes? Yes, we are going to utilize one of the screw holes. So, yes, we want a hole just about dead center between the power jack and the power button. Better if we marked it off on the back. That looks more or less right. Drill a little pilot hole. I would center punch this first, but it's such a difficult position. I don't think I will. I don't want this to be crooked either, so I want to cut about center. Spot on. And that's wandering off course beautifully. Bloody hell. The light in this room is diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Drill this from the top down. Ooh, Christ. Probably do with being a bit further along, actually. So we will make the hole bigger. Unless I file it down. Good work. Hi, Herb. Rewinding and watching this afternoon, but about 14 minutes behind live. Yeah, it's... Oh, the excitement must be unbearable. Right, put this away, out of the way. See if this is gonna work. Oh shit, what have I done with the... Dropped it. Oh no. Get my face out of the way here. Why have I got the iron on? Right. Huh? Too close to the jack. Oh, get a flat file. If these videos prove anything, it's that very, very little goes right first time. Right, so that's just about, yes, there you go. See, that works. Pylon, standoff, through. And the other side just goes straight in this screw hole here. Oh, I didn't shorten the cables, did I? Oh, joy upon joy, I've got the cables to shorten as well. Great. Great. So a board is going to go on here like this. Hi Steve, nice to see you here. Completely forgot I haven't shortened the cables, so this is going to take much longer than I thought. Just great that looks. Tighten these up. This is going to have to come off it all again. Finger tighten. Load bearing. And there we go. There is our ultimate board, nicely located in the top corner. Now, isn't that nice? Now, I'm going to take this machine apart anyway. This is mine. Starting to look a little bit on the yellow side. Right. Take this apart. Just wanted to remind myself where I actually hooked up the wires in this one, because I don't think I used the CPU. I think wired it up to Freddy. Look. Also test fit. Oh, crikey. Ah, interesting. I didn't use Freddy. He did use locations close to the CPU, including a pin of the PBI connector. Well, that makes reasonable sense. Yes. Now, yes, you see on this machine exactly what I was talking about before, yesterday, with this pylon here. Where is it? Wrong way. You've got a pylon there. Now this has got to go right down the side of the... It actually touches the side of the ultimate board, that pylon. As it goes in this screw hole here. Ow. Sorry. Goes in there. Screw hole here. There. So how the hell are you going to get the board as it comes with the headers sticking out the side anyway? Gone on about that enough. It's just a complete pain in the arse having to change them. Yes, you could put the board here, or here, or here. But why? The MMU's here. The OS ROM's here, so fair enough, it's 50-50 as far as the OS ROM's concerned, but the MMU is closer to this side of the board, so why the hell would you not put it up there? You might want to put a... I mean, this is an I/O section here, so you'd be more inclined to put some sort of SIO to SD or PC or whatever the hell you're going to put in that corner. Makes sense to me. So... I mean, you could mount the ultimate board further along this way towards the middle of the machine, but then you've got the video jack there. You know. So anyway, Mark, I'm going to make a note of these little locations. Whoops. And just follow suit with this thing. Oh, and I've forgotten something as well. There's going to be a video jack under this Ultimate. Silly me. There's going to be a video jack here, but I'll fit that. I'm going to have time to do that now. We could do that now. Might as well do that now. Okay, so I'll keep this machine to one side. Oh, migrate to the other desk. So let's go ahead and fit this video jack before we proceed any further. Try and finish. Yeah. Let's think. Let's think ahead. I want this to be a self-contained Ultimate 1 megabyte installation, so no. I will leave the video jack until next time, and we'll do that along with the VBXE. So we'll leave it for now. Now what we do first, cables. Where are the cables for this machine? They're not in here. Cables? 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 Where the hell? Oh, there you are, bastard. There should be another one as well. Where the... I'll put them. There. Aha! There we are. What the hell is this? What the... Oh, this is another cable that came with the Rapidus. Useful. Could use this instead. Oh. Now, let's tackle these first. Right, we've got no strain relief on these cables. Okay. Is this going to be long enough? Ugh. How are the cables routed on the other machine? Okay, they go in this way, flips over underneath itself. If I can avoid modifying these cables, I will avoid it. And it comes around the front, and then just what? How the hell? I'm going that way. No, this is gonna have to come apart. This is broken as well. Side wall of this connector is... Probably can't see it. Yeah, we're gonna have to get our vise out. Yeah, the side wall of this connector here. See how it's bent out at the side? I don't know what happened with that, but there you go. Got spares if I need them. Now, how are we going to route this wire? Bearing in mind that we're going to have a VBXE in the machine. This, like this, would work. This will have to go on the other way. This needs to... Oh. No, not like that. Let's assume it's going through this way. This way, and it has to on go. Probably be easier. Cable went in the other way, so it could go around the VBXE. Gee, what a puzzle this is. Cross line. Ah, this could, no, this can't work. Went that way, then that way. Not gonna work either. Has to be this way on. Okay, let's try a different method. Came out this way, and that, like that, that. This way, and this way. Aha! This works. This is gonna work. Yes, if it went like that and like that, and in from the back. Oh, brilliant! So, aha! Yes, this works. This works. So, oh, how much do we need to lose from the length of the cable? So we route it this way. Plug it in first. You know, I would actually be happier if the cables just came, or there was an option to just get a strip of ribbon cable and a couple of connectors that you put on yourself after you trim the cable down to the length you want it. I think I would prefer that. Less of a fuss. Come on. Oh, the legs are bent. Magical. Right. There we go. Right. How did I do this? Fold that way first. So it's going to fold like that straight away. And then it's going to fold this way like this. We'll clear the VBXE and the Rapidus. And then it's going to have to fold like this. Aha. Go a little bit further in. Like that. And this. That's going to, there, something along these lines. That's going to look reasonably good. But the wire's going to have to come in from the other side. One way or another, this is going to have to come off. So are we going to bother with the strain relief clips? There's plenty of room. Plenty of room for strain relief clips. Have we got any? That's the question. Probably not. Probably not. Could have some. Get some. But I thought they'd be on the connectors, and they're not. What's in here? Nothing. What's in here? Nothing useful. Yes, we've got strain relief clips. We've got a long one and a short one. And that's the last two I've got. I mean, it's not essential by any means. I might as well drag these out of the box and keep them to hand regardless. Should have a supply of these IDC connectors anyway, but it all gets a little bit, starts to rack up the cost of keeping duplicated parts. Right, are we gonna bother with this thing here? I mean, I should, really. So it would come in from this, it would come in from the same side, that coming from the same side. So the length wants to be about here. Stop that cable there. Gonna go. Oh, additional hassle. Right, gonna go in same way, but okay. And that's at quite an angle to start with, so it's not like I'm gonna spoil anything. Holy hell. Right. Try and cut this at some sort of reasonable angle. The bottom. Yeah. That's the bottom, so the top. Right. Oh. If he's glued this shut, fucking flip. These are not meant to be taken off and used, but time to get this done tonight. It's going to be taken off and reused. Knife. I see super glue on this. I've seen them super glued before. Desperately annoying. There we go. Reasonably okay. This is going to go in. About like this. Reasonably. That's reasonably. Reasonably straight. Yes. Okay. Okay. I haven't soldered anything so far. Clockwise. Clockwise. Great. Alright, pop this in the vise. Clamp it shut. I'm not going to put the strain relief clip on yet until I know that it actually works. No, well, I will trim the way I trim the spay off the edge of here. You can't see that, can you? I've got the connector on the edge of the desk and I'm just going to sort of slice down like this. Really want to do it in one fell swoop. Shorts. There you go. See this? Right, now this should now fit the way we did it before, bearing in mind it's going to loop over itself to pass under the, oh shit, what the hell is that? Pass under itself to go under the strain relief clip. He's okay. So underneath there. Yeah, there we go. Right, like this. There we go. That's how this goes on, and the when I pop the strain relief clip on the top, which is obviously gone missing, there it is. Clip just goes on here like this, like so. I'll refrain from putting that on until I know that the thing works. Okay, next cable, MMU cable. No strain relief. Might just work as is, depending on how we route this thing. Coming out the back, probably not what we want. See how we can route this cable. And we route it this way. We want to route it like that. And of course it's it's too long. Better too long than not long enough. That's what I would say. Put that down here. These are the hearting connectors are actually easy to take off and put back on, so I'm just going to do this end cable. Because as luck would have it, it's coming out the right side. So yeah, we're going to chop and reconnect about here. Now if you're going to fit one of these boards, for God's sake, if you don't want to alter these cables, it's not absolutely necessary to do so, but I don't like to see them folded and concertinaed all over the place. So amend them, change the length. You may not wish to do so. I'll not judge you for it. Get this thing off without actually impaling yourself on the legs of the connector is not easy. Oh. Off. I know you can't see. Case of it's a sort of a two-stage clip. So once you've got past the first little rung, latch, whatever you want to call it, there's an additional one. Right. So this cable is going to go in blah 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 like this. This is the top. I'm going to pin one in the bottom corner so that we know which way to plug it in. It's patently obvious that the red leads pin one anyway, but that's Go the other way up. Pin 1, bottom left. Correct. Alright, so we pop this back on with a shorter cable, feed it through, it. Now obviously with this, because this one has legs on it, you need some sort of standoff thing put in the vise. I'm going to go and get what you can use. This is one of these, which is actually an IDC connector. It's a perfect size to actually put in between the legs of the connector. See? So you're going to press, the vise is going to press the connector onto the base of the it's going to push the IDC connector down onto the base of the parting connector. Okay, slacken the vise off a bit. The tricky bit is to keep everything straight when it's all being put together. A bit fiddly. That's doable. Drop this down. You'll see when you can pull the if you've got the connector level in the vise and you pull the cable out the top like this, it should still look straight. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up quite tightly and loosen it off again. And with a bit of luck, it didn't get bent out of shape. Look. This looks like it's going to be good enough. So we'll take the vise off the bench. Right. I can use this piece of wood as well. Put that back up there so I don't lose it. Get rid of this. Get rid of everything else. Just shower myself in sawdust. Right. So now I can put this cable in. Trim this down as well. Get rid of the scissors. Do the old slice trick. There we are. Come on, focus, focus, focus. There you are. Slice the cable off the end there. So this goes in the MMU slot. Go ahead and put this in, and then we have 4 more connections to make with a soldering iron. And hopefully, when we've done that, we will have a working Ultimate 1 megabyte in this machine. It's all very neat and nice cabling. Okay, so there we are. Now, probably going to run into problems with the VBXE here. Well, I'm probably not. No, because the cable, yeah, that should be okay. Yeah, that's going to be. This is going to go underneath the front of the VBXE, I think. Ooh, it's a tight fit. Alright. Let's try and tidy up as we go. Put these bits of cable in the bin. Okay. Let's do these connections. Let's knock soldering iron on. Let's put the fume extractor on, which is a 4-pound desk fan from Morrison's. Let's get busy. Never considered. Whoa. Oh, it's a fan rattling on something. Never considered Ultimate 1 megabyte before. When I saw the video of Eidolon and Rescue on Fractalus running on Rapidus, I got interested. Yeah, it's certainly impressive. Of course, Ultimate 1 Megabyte and Rapidus didn't particularly live together very harmoniously to start with. And you can certainly have the Rapidus board without the Ultimate 1 Megabyte, but then you'll have no Port B RAM, extended RAM, other than what was originally on the machine, because Rapidus, although it has about 14 megabytes of linear RAM on it, somebody will correct me about that, I don't know for sure, about 14 megabytes of linear RAM on it, but the only way you can get it that is in native mode, 65816 native mode, where you've just got this big expansive RAM. It doesn't operate like a bank switched Port B RAM, so your machine is not backwards compatible with any of this this legacy software, which uses extended RAM. So probably what you want to do is have both in, and they do live together reasonably well now. That all the bugs got sorted out on the Rapidus side. So yes, certainly the two go together very well, and of course with this machine, the owner wants VBXE as well, because if you're going to spend how much is Rapidus now? 170 quid. They're like $200 or something, $200 odd dollars. Ultimate's about 50 quid now. If you're going to spend all that money on the machine, you might as well have nice video output as well. But another option I would recommend, if you can get hold of one, I would like one, is the Sophia board, which is very compact. It doesn't have all the fancy extra graphics modes that VBXE has, but it's the video output's very nice. So that would be a nice sort of combo: Sophia, Ultimate 1 Megabyte, and Rapidus. But yeah, I'm not to single out Rapidus, but I'm not a massive fan of accelerated machines anyway. I think I kind of agree with a couple of people on the Atari Age forum. Sort of more, I suppose, purists. You could call them purists, but I'll look into that and start saving, says Steve. Yeah, it's expensive. This machine, let's think now. Give a quick summary. Let's tot up what's in this machine. I mean, the machine cost about $100 to ship over. There were import charges when it got here. So the owner's probably spent about $150 getting the thing to the UK. Stereo Pokey Rapidus $200, $100, $50 or something. What's this? $70. This little box of stuff with this is what we're looking at. 160. 300, oh, well over 300 quid. Well over 300 English quids. 350 quid, something like that. Then your shipping as well. And obviously, I don't do it for free. So, if you can install this stuff yourself, good. It's good news. You notice this? Before I forget, I must forget to take these off. You see the caps? I'd never seen a machine, or very rarely seen a machine that has these capacitors on the data lines, on all the lines on the SIO port. And these will cause issues with low divisors. So these will have to come off as well. This particular, some boards, they were kind of retrofitted caps on the backs of the pins here, but this one has actual sights for the components on the board. Right, okay. I don't use it enough to justify that crazy money. It's the Rapidus really that's the VBXE is expensive. But then again, it's kind of justifiable for what it does. And I suppose the cost of Rapidus is justified as well, if you given what was in it. But it has climbed significantly since it came out. I think it was about, I can't remember. It was about 130, 140 quid when it came out. It's now more like 160. And it's very niche. I mean, if you know, it's not something I was right from the outset when it was announced. It was not something that not just because of the money, but it was not something I really intended to buy. But of course, I was sent one, and it was arduous, because the expectation was that I would test it and be full of good things to say about it. And of course, the test machine I put it in had Ultimate 1 megabyte in it. Didn't work together, and nothing but problems. But the problems got sorted out eventually. Now, got some cabling that I made up prior to this. Grab some cables. We can get this done in 20 minutes or so. Before my wife gets back from the bingo. This is real life. Real life. But yes, it's an expensive machine. This is an expensive machine that I'm working on here. Very expensive in every imaginable sense of the word. So, let's have a look where we're going to solder these wires. See where we're going to pick up. We're going to pick up. Okay. The clock we're going to pick up from the right leg of the bottom resistor. I'm going to have this machine just as a reference point, permanently positioned there. Okay, so let's orientate this connector the right way. Let's push these things in here. I cheated and crimped a load of cables a few weeks ago because it is just pure torture. I messed that one up. Not going in. Not going in. No. Yes. I'm having trouble getting it in. I have trouble getting it in because it's too wide. Let's get the plier, to nip this down a little bit. I'm really just, not only do I not enjoy crimping, I'm just not very good at it, probably because I'm using the wrong tool. I've got Ultimate 1 megabyte, says Herb, and use it almost every day in an 800XL. Yeah, it's a daily device, isn't it? Not at all interested in Rapidus, but I'm sort of interested in Ultimate 1 megabyte VBXE internal ID device and stereo pokey in a 1200XL. Well, you've just described my 1200XL, Herb. Sans PBI connector. But yeah, nice setup. Recommended. Split these wires. I have every opportunity to get this finished in this video. But yeah, I mean, that's the best of all worlds. It's a nice keyboard, nice big gorgeous machine, best looking machine, nice video, The 1200XL video, Herb, you'll have done ear pick mods on 1200XL video, I've no doubt, and they look pretty good. You could also put in a Sophia, or you could put in, of course, one of Brian's boards. I've got one. I've actually got one here, which I'm going to put in 1200XL, as well as a VBXE. So that should be a nice machine. That's going to be. I've been meaning to make a NTSC 1200XL, of course, the NTSC by definition, but meaning to make one that's not converted to PAL for testing purposes for a while. But I never ever get around to doing my own stuff. Those parts have been in the box up there since beginning of this year, I think, and just never ever get the time to do it. But I will eventually do it, and it's going to have Ultimate, VBXE, UAV, what have I missed out? Rapidus. Yes, I'm going to put the Rapidus in it, and I figure it should work because there won't be that much on the bus. Oh, there's Dom. Hi, Dom. How are you, Dom? I haven't started yours yet, before you ask. What's Dom say? Hi, John. Ultimate 1 megabyte with side 2 is my ultimate upgrade. The 1200XL you did for me is my daily user. Well, absolutely, and I'm all for daily usage 1200XLs. Ultimate 1 megabyte. Ultimate is a great device, and I would not have spent a large amount of 2 years of my life writing a new BIOS for Ultimate 1 megabyte if I didn't really believe that it was worthwhile, because it's quite a prolific device. It's probably the preeminent memory upgrade nowadays. I don't know how many there are out there. There's probably about 500 at least, and I think it's brilliant. It's not perfect. There are things that I would have liked to have seen done differently. For example, not using the base RAM of the machine under the I/O area for the PBI RAM. That's been repeatedly told by Ken and other people that that's not the way it was meant to be done. But let's remember that when Sebastian designed the Ultimate, this PBI thing, the hard disk and all that, was not even thought of. It was an afterthought, so that he quite cleverly realized that there was another 512 bytes of RAM or so unused underneath the I/O region, so he opened them up as well. Right, so I'm putting for those, have I got the right wire? Yes, this is the clock signal. The O2 clock signal. So he opportunely used some of that memory. Is that on? That's on. Underneath page D1 and D5, which is the what chips under D1. What chips under D1? Is anything under D? Oh no, that's the PBI hardware region, D1, and the cartridge region. So he opened up that memory, which you normally can't get to. It's also known as map RAM, and Ultimate uses that for the menus and the PBI driver. Now, when I wrote the original PBI driver, he told me that I had all of page D1 and D5, most of it to do with as I needed. And right, the next one is read write, the yellow one in this case. That's going to go to a via just above pin 36, just above pin 36. Right. He told me that I had that memory to do as non-volatile memory, and also the memory under page D5 and D6 as memory which is transient, in as much as the BIOS, the main BIOS, would wipe it out. And that's what I did. Now, of course, when the time came that I decided to rewrite the whole thing from scratch, I was able to sort of desegregate those two chunks of memory so that I could use everything pretty much the way I liked, which to me made a lot more sense. Kind of gone off track here. I don't even know what I was talking about now. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was able to. It was just much more flexible. So anyway, the point being, got away from the point. What I would have liked to have seen is, instead of using that RAM, it's not a massive problem in everyday circumstances, but instead of using that RAM, if, like the Incognito, because if you notice on the Incognito board, there are 3 SRAM chips, not 2 SRAM chips, and the reason for that is because the 800 does not have the RAM under the hardware region at all, so that there's a 3rd RAM chip to provide that. And there's probably, not that it was implemented, but there's probably another half a meg of RAM that I could get at from within the BIOS and access them from that same area. So it would have been nice if Ultimate 1MB had also had an extra SRAM chip with a shitload of RAM on it that we could use for the PBI BIOS and etc, etc. And likewise, if there had been more ROM for the BIOS, so the BIOS maps in the same space as the operating system, 16K ROM. Now, if that had been bank switched, coupled with the extra RAM, then we could have had, instead of having the loader as a cartridge, a pseudo sort of cartridge ROM. Now, what's the next one? Reset. Where does reset go? Reset is the brown one. It goes to the the adjacent via. How convenient. Where was I? Where was I? Oh yes, we could have had the loader built into the main BIOS with all that, because of all the ROM space we would have had, and then you could have jumped in and out of the BIOS, jumped in and out of the loader without having to do an OS restart and blow all the RAM contents. So you could have mounted and unmounted disks using the full the loader. I mean, the loader, as I wrote it, consumes all the RAM in the machine, the main RAM. And so obviously you can't call the loader from the way you can call the BIOS from, say you're in Atari writer and you can jump into the BIOS and then jump back out again and everything's still the way it was. You can't do that with the loader. It's a shame. But other than that, oh, and with the other thing I would like to have seen with Ultimate 1 megabyte, and I'm sure there's ever another iteration of it, which will be a complete nightmare for everybody who's got the thing in the machine already. But nevertheless, the community seems to have an endless appetite for this sort of thing. It would be nice if it would emulate more cartridge types. Now, this new side 3, which I've got absolutely nothing to do with, haven't been approached about, haven't been told about. I learned about it from Letharek's Facebook page that it even existed or was going to exist. This is the side 3 is going to have it's going to emulate ROMs a bit like the My IDE 3 does and the Uno cart and all that sort of stuff, as well as everything else that it does, which is all very nice. But of course, when the PBI hard disk functionality that Dominic mentioned that he likes to use deactivates the ROM, so you can't use, I wouldn't imagine that you'd be able to use the emulated cartridges on a side 3 at the same time as the PBI hard disk. It's exactly the same situation we've got now, that we can't use the external cartridge ROM on the side cartridge with the PBI hard disk because it has to be turned off. Right, last wire. And speaking of Incognito 3, I was of course supposed to be writing the PBI BIOS for that. I thought I was going to be writing the whole lot because I've already written a complete replacement BIOS and firmware for the original Incognito. But that seems to have gone down like an absolute lead balloon with the hardware designer. So all I was asked to do was write the PBI driver, but of course the PBI driver that I was going to have to provide was regressive in the sense that it was going to lack all of the stuff I'd added to it to work with the the BIOS that I wrote. It was going to have to be more like the original PBI BIOS that I wrote, which had no access to no sort of give and take of information between the main BIOS. So you wouldn't have your boot drive menu, you wouldn't have your right lock menu, you wouldn't have all the nice things that I added. That would be down to, well, it just wouldn't happen. But I reluctantly agreed to do it, and then I sent a bit of code and a couple of questions to Candle in April or maybe March, and I never heard a thing back until I saw a picture of Incognito 2 on Letharek's website, lo and behold, which is the last place that I expected to see it. So I don't know what he's doing, I don't know what's the situation with firmware on the side 3, and I don't know what the situation with firmware is on the Incognito 2, but it certainly isn't going to have the alternate BIOS or any version of thereof on it. And so you're going to end up with potentially 3 BIOS revisions: the original BIOS, the alternate BIOS, and the Incognito 3 BIOS, whoever has decided to write it. Have I made these too short? I would not be surprised. Oh, they'll probably go down there. I hope so. Otherwise I've really screwed up. Keep my mind on the job. And no way I'm going to deal with that 3 different generations of firmware. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. So like I say, I don't know what's going to happen, but a little bit disappointing. I mean, it would have saved a hell of a lot of time to just adapt what's already there, the firmware that's already there, which is quantifiably better than what was originally there, instead of starting again from scratch. But I kind of lost interest in the whole thing, I'm afraid. It seems that I've said this before when I was testing Rapidus, but sometimes trying to help somehow manages to annoy people, and I don't know. Okay. That's enough of that for the time being. I don't really want to get preoccupied with what's going on with this stuff. But I tried to make a sort of a cohesive ecosystem, if you like, with your U-Flash and the BIOS and the firmware homogenized into a single unit where everything works together in peace and harmony, and it seems that that's going to be destroyed. But, you know, each to their own. Help was there, and it was not needed. So, let's turn this on. Oh, I've already turned it on. Let's see if this works. Works. Why does it not boot into the BIOS? Interesting. Normally it would boot straight into the BIOS, but it works! It works! Job done. It works. I should really have made those cables a bit longer, but no, never mind. Never mind. I suppose it's, if anything, it's compact. That's what happens when you just talk and talk and talk when you're busy. Never mind. It works. It quantifiably works. So we'll turn that on just as a little reminder that it works. All possible. Work first time. Good. So the shortened cables and everything all work. So we can put this. We can go ahead and put the string relief cap clips on now. Excellent. Ah, it's nice when it works first time. So bend that round a bit more, pop the cables on. I'm going to have to buy some more of these for me. Once again, I'm giving away my own stuff. These were the last clips I've got. So when I come to do this test machine that I mentioned earlier on, I'm going to have to buy some more bits. Well. What can you do? Oh, that's just broken. Did it break, or did it not break? Oh no. There you go. There we are. Lovely. I think that looks pretty reasonably good. I don't know about you. Try it again just to make sure that it still works. It's so dark in here. So dark. There we go. So it works. Of course, the first thing I'll do is flash the alternate BIOS. I'll do that at the end of the build. Okay, so yeah, it would have been nice to have ported the alt BIOS and whatnot to the new incognito board, but obviously that's not part of the plan. A lot of extra work, but oh well. And I don't know what's happening with side 3. Well, we have yet a third loader. I don't know. It's just too hideously messy to think about, I'm afraid. So anyway, there we have the ultimate board fitted. These cables will be flattened down underneath the VBXE. Let's just do a quick test fit to make sure. But does see, this is what I'm talking about at the back. It's neat, it's sturdy. There's no problem with clearance up here on these clips. So why on earth the design was changed, I don't know. So the VBXE is going to go around about here. So this is it's going to go over the top of these cables here. The Rapidus, of course, goes back here, and it's going to sit there. So you're going to have this kind of arrangement, and stereo pokey is going to be down here. So this should all go together very nice and quickly before Rapidus completely destabilizes the whole bus. No, I'm joking. Won't. But just in case it does, I've got FO4 chips to replace 74 LSO8 if need be, which Latharek tells us will fix it all, make it work. So there you have it. Ultimate 1 megabyte self-contained video, Ultimate 1 megabyte in a 130XE. So, and with that, I'm sure that if Deborah had had a big bingo win, she would have let me know by now. Well, not that I've checked my phone, but it may even be back already. So, and that sounds like her coming in now. So with that, I will bid you farewell until the next video. Thanks to everybody who was in chat, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.